see it on your screen. Like
You're supposed to pretend you're here.
Oh. I didn't realize you were running a gag.
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steven. This is 60 Cycle Hum the Guitar, buying, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, playing, reviewing, smashing.
Out of Order podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to our April Fool's Spectacular. We talked about it and we didn't really have anything funny to say or do, so we're just going to do a regular show. Joke's on you guys. Not doing anything different here. Just going to do ads and a topic. And this first ad was sent by Dave Santander. And we need to figure out if this is a real Gibson, because this looks wild.
Yeah, this is listed as a 1978 Gibson Les Paul Standard mod with original hardshell case. Frank Zappa meets Ace freely. It's listed for $5,500 on Reverb. It says, are you a huge fan of Frank Zappa and or Ace Frehley? Do you want a guitar with more knobs / sound options than a space shuttle?
Whoa.
Maybe you just want a guitar with tons of mojo and looks badass. If you answered yes to any of those questions, then this guitar is for you. This guitar hails from the Midwest originally and was toured in bars, giving it its nice yellowing patina and a mild smell of cigarettes from years of rocking out.
The bar toured nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, the original buyer has very nicely put together this wonderful axe with many modifications that would take me a long time to list. The guitar plays great, sounds great, and looks great. There are various nicks and dings throughout with some worming on the back, but it just adds to the whole vibe of the guitar. Feel free to ask questions. A bunch of things. Here's the things that are changed. 3 vintage DiMarzio distortion humbuckers with many switches.
Yeah.
There's so many switches that they're not listed in the ad. There's 3 switches.
Well, when you got 3 humbuckers, you got to have extra switches. I actually really like this layout that they figured out where they did this X shape of switches in between the box of the 4 knobs.
I didn't realize. So there's 5 switches.
Yeah, Yes, well, there's technically 6 switches because there's the rhythm and lead.
Right. Okay, so switch 1 turns the middle pickup on in position 1, or in position 2, it's the middle pickup, but it's split.
Okay.
Switch 2 is lead pickup using both coils for super distortion, or splits the lead pickup. So switch 2 is just an on-off or an on split for lead pickup. Switch 3.
Just read them. We don't need to.
Controls the middle pickup, so it can either be used with either the lead or rhythm pickup. Position 1 joins with lead pickup. Position 2 joins with rhythm pickup. Center position is off, so that's a 3-way.
Wow.
Switch 4 is a rhythm pickup phase control to put the pickup in or out of phase, and switch 5 is an on-off switch for the back. The lead pickup is on or it's off, enabling the middle pickup to be used by itself when switch 3 is in position 1 and switch 5 is in position 2, and the main pickup selector is in the treble position.
And then we got pulls on every single knob, and
Wait, do we?
No, I'm joking.
No.
They could have, though. They could have kept going and going and going.
You do actually raise an interesting point, though, is like at least I think 1, 2 of these switches could be push pulls. 3 of these switches could be push pulls, I think.
And it's got a harmonica style bridge on here, and it's got that like fine tuner stop tail. Do you
right
for the year? Those are stock, right? That's like,
I'm not sure if
I'm not a big
the TP6.
I'm not like a big Gibson spec follower. Like if this was a Fender guitar, I would be able to tell you exactly what bridge it needed to have for that year. But like, I have no idea for Gibsons.
I think of the TP6 as mostly being a thing for Lucille and not anything else. So I don't know if that's actually the case.
The TP6 is it's the stop tail.
That's the tailpiece. Yeah.
That adjustable stop tail. Yeah. I don't know.
So
I don't know by serial number like Steve does. What pickups do you think came in this originally, Steve?
1978. These were probably Shaw era, maybe T-tops.
All right.
So these are vintage DiMarzios, which could be worth something, but also, those pickups from the late 70s, if they were T-tops, would probably be worth, $200, $300, $400 a piece, maybe more.
Yeah.
At this point.
I mean, I gotta say the 3 cream humbucker setup looks just fantastic here. I love this. This looks like a rock star's guitar. Like, I'm not a big Les Paul lover, but look at this thing. I think it's beautiful. I love a cherry burst. That's what this is, right? That's what they call it?
I think so. Heritage cherry, maybe?
Yeah, heritage cherry. I whatever it's called, this is the finish that I would probably prefer on a Les Paul if I was going to pick a Les Paul for myself. Like a classic Les Paul finish. Yeah, I'm all about this. Like, I love that red to yellow burst.
They just call it original cherry sunburst in the description, so that sounds right. The tuners are replaced as well. I didn't notice that they have vintage Schaller tuners, so not the original.
They're replaced if this
Gibson
even
tuners.
Is a Gibson. Like,
right. I
like,
mean, one of the things that makes me question whether or not it's a Gibson is now it does have one of your favorite mods, Schaller locking strap locks.
I hate those, Steve.
One of your favorite mods.
For the record, Steve is being sarcastic. I am not a fan of those big, bulky strap locks. Don't pin that on me, Steve. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those people that likes those things.
One of your favorite.
And then it's got a strap button on the
mods.
back of the body, which is why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You've already got strap locks. Why do you need another strap button in the neck heel of all places? Like, geez.
And that one, not only is it in the back, but it's put in place with a hex screw.
Yeah. Good luck.
I have to imagine. So in this would have been this might be a long tenon era. I think when they use a long tenon for the neck. So that screw could be structural. It might be holding the neck in place.
Yeah.
Now, again, assuming that this is a real Gibson.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that yet. Like, the price is too low. It's almost the price of a new Gibson. Like, if this was truly vintage, then it would be a lot more, right? I do want to say, like, even though I love the look of the triple cream humbuckers, every time I play a guitar that's got a big old humbucker in the middle, my pick interacts with it. I'm always like tapping on it. I'm always like getting hung up on it. Like, the ergonomics are kind of not great with a middle humbucker guitar.
Yeah.
I wish it was great because I think it's such a freaking cool look. Like, it looks amazing.
It is kind of funny. I don't know if this is a cherry burst thing, but I'm looking at, like, there's a music go around that has a Gibson Les Paul custom that looks minty for a 1978. It does not have all these weird little modifications to it, but they're only asking $4,400 for it.
Yeah.
Now, granted, again, 3 pickups. So 3 pickups does make it little.
Yeah, it's 50%
special.
more pickups.
Yeah. They've increased. And so you pay 50% more. So $5,500. And now it seems very reasonable.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking at this wiring diagram and none of this looks like official Gibson paperwork to me. The switch layout and stuff like, this is not a manual. They put it in plastic, like they're trying to preserve it, but no, this does not look like something that would have come from Gibson officially. The strap button on the back, no. Gibson wouldn't do that. I don't think this is real.
I don't think it was supposed to be originally from the factory like that. I don't know why you have that impression. You lost me on that one. I did though, Ryan. I did. There are some other things about
60
this.
Cycle Hum, the guitar podcast, where we try to figure out if guitars are real or not.
I did take this serial number and I thought about sending it to. I thought about sending it to Gibson, But then I remember that we're
Well, they have like the online checkers, you know.
You've been wined and dined by Mark Agnesi.
Oh yeah, he took me in the back room of the Gibbons garage and he poured scotch for me and he showed me a special gold trash can and everything. So yeah,
he took you to the back room of the Gibson garage.
Yeah, I got to play like
got you drunk and had his way with you. It sounds like.
Mark Agnesi did not P. Diddy me. If that's what you're getting at?
Wow. Well, no, because you were an adult, so it's a different. God,
what are we doing here, Steve? Knock it off.
If you're gonna talk about P. Diddy, we're gonna go there.
Oh my gosh! I tried.
But the real point being that I reached out to I video chatted Mark on.
Oh, you did
through Instagram.
Yeah, we message on Instagram, so he probably thought you were me.
Yeah, well, it's a video. He's very confused when he picked up.
Oh, okay. You like FaceTimed him or something.
But he did confirm that this may or may not be a real Gibson guitar.
Oh, really? He confirmed that.
He confirmed that it may or may not be a real Gibson guitar.
And interesting that he took that. Wow.
Yeah.
Without even having it in his hands, he made that call.
No, just from the serial number and the pictures.
Yeah.
And the showing of the pictures were awkward because I had to like hold the phone up to
a mirror.
The reverb. Well, no, you switched to front facing camera.
Okay, gotcha.
Held it up to
Did he see the strap button on the back?
Well, that's why he's not sure if it's real or not.
Right. Did he see the paperwork? Because I don't know who was in charge at Gibson at the time, but that doesn't look like anyone's handwriting that I'm familiar with.
Well, he did tell me that he would get in touch with the folks at Norland because this, I believe, would be in Norland.
Yeah.
But Norland, or Nolans, as the folks at Gibson call them, they were all in the French Quarter when he called them. So
you know what?
They were not able to really look into it.
While you were talking about that, I sent a picture of this over to Joe Bonamassa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I have his number now. It's for other stuff. It's because my brother's a contractor and he painted his house and he wanted like some graphic design information and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
So I sent it to him and he had a look at it and he's like, you know what? I own 4 of these.
Oh.
And he said, the price is right, but they're not real. This is not a real Gibson. It's not actually a real guitar. It's a framed photo of a Gibson. He says he owns 4 of these. He says they're prints. They're
pictures.
Prints. Yeah, they're framed. They're real nice. So, yeah. That's you hate to see it. Is that old scam again? People on the internet selling photos of things.
Right.
So,
right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not real. I mean, it was a photo of a real guitar, but there's only one of the real guitar, and the real guitar is a fake. It's actually a Strat held up to a funhouse mirror. Oh, yeah. That
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually a 1990s Strat, one of those sunbursty ones that has P90s in it. So,
yeah, I mean, if you have the lighting right, you can make anything look good.
You ever do like they got stereograms all over TikTok now, and they're animated. You ever look at an animated stereogram, Steve?
I even know what a stereogram
like a magic eye. A magic eye.
Oh, okay. I've never looked at those on TikTok. I'm not on that part of TikTok.
They make them animated now. So if you can cross your eyes just right, you can see a 3-dimensional thing dancing around or spinning. Like you can see a dolphin in 3D now and it spins. This is kind of like that. Only it's of a guitar and it's not a stereogram. So
right.
Yeah.
Oh, why do I hate everything about that?
I'm into them. I'm good at the stereograms. Are you good at them?
No.
Okay.
No.
Don't try. It'll give you a headache.
I'm not even good at the book ones.
I loved them. And I think I had like 3 or 4 of those books. Yeah.
I mean, like I've done them here and there, but like, I don't know. I'm not
just
a big fan.
Just, at parties with friends and stuff like that. You're not
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, I don't know how to
Do we have
transition
do we
into
have some
this.
business to do, Steve?
We do. We're not gonna do any names this week just because I don't have them ready. But
That's a good reason. Well, we're gonna save them all up for. We don't want people to think that their Patreon support is a joke, so we're just not even gonna risk doing that on April Fool's Day. Like,
Right.
we didn't choose for April Fool's to land on a Monday when we typically launch these things.
it chose us.
Yeah, we don't do jokes here. This is a serious podcast.
Yeah.
We play it straight face. This is guitar. Like, it's music. It's not a laughy, giggly, jokey hour that we do here. Like, lives are on the line. This is serious business. Like, people's, people spend their hard-earned money on guitars and they want to make serious music
true.
with it. Like, there's no reason to find humor in any of this. So we are really just we decided not to do any of the April Fool's stuff that so many other channels are doing today. I'm sure. Like, we've been around the block so many times. It's like, why even bother at this point? We don't want to decrease the quality of what we do over here with a couple dumb jokes. Like, stupid.
Yeah. So if you want to support this show, you can head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast. Like these folks have. Bill Gates. That's an interesting one.
Yeah. We know him.
He joined at the $95 level.
I actually saw an email come in today. I'm hoping that you're going to mention him, but George Soros. He's been listening for a long time.
Yeah. So if things get real lefty for a minute, it's because George Soros is donating at the 2024. His username is George Soros Vote for Biden 2024, which is weird.
Yeah.
You're going to see that in the scroll at the end. Sorry, we'll just whatever you put, we're going to put it. I guess
he's the first member of our $50,000 level. He's supporting $50,000 a day, and he's sending lawyers over with a book of stuff that he wants us to read every single episode, every single day. But we're calling that level the Bridge Smashers level.
God. Not to be outdone though. We also had this week a member join. I'm not sure. It's SpaceX Musk. He joined at the $69,420 level.
Oh, nice. 69,420. That's a funny number.
Yeah.
I wish he hadn't. We should have saved that for next week. Now people are going to think this is a joke.
Yeah. And then the last one that joined was the guys, Nick Hexum, the front man for the band 311. He joined at the $3.11
That's
level.
actually amazing. And, unfortunately, he does that all the time. Like he emailed us. He's like, "Hey, sorry guys, I know that you probably think I have a lot more money than this, and I definitely do, but I have to lean into the joke, and I definitely can't pull $311.
Yeah,
so it's going to be $3.11." And he's like, "I do this all the time at restaurants, and everyone laughs, and it's just kind of my gag,
Yeah. So if you're at like the right restaurant, you'll either get tipped very under what it's worth. Like people at Starbucks love him because he's always tipping $3.11. But people at like Red Robin are like, seriously, dude, $3.11.
Yeah, why are you even here?
You got $70 worth of food. You
got $3.11 money. Why are you at Red Robin?
Yeah. But again, when he goes to like a mid scale place where it's like $25, $30 plate, so he spends like $200 for him and his family. Those guys love it because on a $200 ticket, he's gonna tip $311.
Right. You have to. There's a threshold to get over.
Yeah.
That's important.
All right, Ryan. This episode's also brought to you by Stringjoy.
That's right, Steve.
Something teeth. Something.
Let's not do the
use the link below.
Usually we say the thing about that they're coated with the enamel from baby teeth, and like I said, I just want to make sure people have somewhere serious to go on April 1st this year.
Oh, okay.
So let's just say they're good. They're really good strings. I use them on everything. I love my orbiters. I just ordered a big old box of them, and I'm going to put them on all my guitars because I've fallen in love with them. I mean this seriously. Like, I actually probably going to marry them. People say, if you love it, why don't you marry it? And I'm going to get a divorce from my wife, and I'm going to marry a box of strings because I love them so much.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you going to divorce your wife and marry strings?
No, I'm going to divorce my wife and marry a Chase Bliss pedal.
Oh, well, that's for later in the episode, Steve.
But since you asked.
Right. Yeah.
Just figured I'd put it out there.
That's probably a better long-term commitment. Honestly, strings, they tend to get worn out and disappear.
You got to replace them all the time.
Yeah, you got to replace them all the time. It's really not, like, I don't know what I'm thinking. It's a bad plan. And I love my human wife. Why am I doing this?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
This next ad was sent by TJ French. It's called Real Mosrite. This says, this is a custom built guitar that I had bought a while back.
The title of it makes me feel suspicious. Like, why are they telling us it's real right off the bat?
Unfortunately, I'm moving and I don't have enough space for this guitar in my new apartment. As you can see, this guitar is modeled after the Mosrite and Univox High Flyer line of guitars popular by guitarists like Johnny Ramone and Kurt Cobain. It comes equipped with a great sounding set of chrome P90s. The guitar has 2 knobs and 2 buttons. The knobs are for volume and tone, and the buttons are to turn the individual pickups on and off.
Interesting.
This guitar has got an adjustable tremolo bridge, but unfortunately I can't find the whammy bar. And apparently I can't go to a store and get one, but that shouldn't be too hard to find, so you just do it. Overall, it's in great playing condition and is sure to bring you some attention. It is sold as described.
I'm going to say right now that I don't think that this is real, and it's because I have a trained eye.
This is $460 on Reverb.
Yeah. I've seen so many Mosrites. I've looked at them personally, and there's just a few little details that just stick out. That just like, when people will look at a Gibson and they'll be like, oh, it's got the wrong amount of screws on the truss rod cover and stuff like that. I'm looking at the fine details, and certain things just aren't lining up. Headstock shape looks good. Body looks 100% accurate. Chrome covered P90s. Yeah, that's what Simi Mosley liked to use. Clear knobs.
Perfect.
That's it. That is it. The thing that's really catching my eye, it's got that Tisco bridge on there, that Tisco bridge. There's no adjustable saddles. Mosrite had their own bridge style that they did, and they did the sand casted vibramutes, and this doesn't have that. Right. So I'm going to say, I don't think this is a real Mosrite.
Ryan, the other thing I noticed, and I'm surprised you didn't point out, this guitar, the pickguard has 5 screws, and Mosrites usually have 6 screws or 3 screws.
Yeah, totally.
So, but not almost never 5.
It's amazing they were able to track down the push buttons. Because those are, they must have scrapped that out of a real Mosrite. To find those, famously they had push buttons like a telephone. So
you can call your friends.
Yeah, I will say, our little silliness aside here, I do think this looks fun. No, I don't think it looks $460 fun. Was that what they wanted for it?
Yeah.
$460, 110 shipping. Oh man, no, this obviously this is not a real Mosrite. It's not like that Les Paul that was a photograph. But it is a real guitar, but it's not a real Mosrite. I couldn't see myself paying more than, 110 on top of 460, that's 570. I think you got to be out the door 525 on this. Or it just doesn't make any sense.
I am not seeing this on. Oh, there it is. I was going to say I'm not seeing this on Reverb anymore.
Yeah.
110 shipping. That is fixed. It's in Arcata, California. So.
Oh, well, just go pick it up.
Where is Arcata? Is that in the Bay? I feel like that's in the Bay. I don't know. Is it above the Bay?
Yeah.
It's above the Bay. So I don't know.
Down by the Bay.
Wait a second. Angel, we could get Brett Alexander to pick this up for us, and then maybe he can just ship it down cheaper. What do you think's cheaper? Driving to Northern California and back to get a guitar,
Well,
or
it's all
just
about-
paying $110 to get it shipped.
It's all time cost, like
That's true. Now that Elon is supporting us, maybe he can
he should
let
just
us borrow a
strap it to-
Tesla.
he should
and then
strap
won't
it
cost anything.
to a rocket and then just
That's true. That's
airdrop
true.
it to us. Just Starlink
Yeah.
it to us. Elon.
I don't think that's what Starlink does.
Elon, thanks for supporting the channel. Please strap this to a Starlink and drop it off. I'll send you my address. Don't use it for anything nefarious, Elon.
Ryan,
Yeah, Steve.
it's weird doing. I feel a little stiff tonight. I feel like I'm not hitting the beats.
Yeah, well, it's been a long work week,
It has.
And spring
but
spring
Ryan,
is here's my thing. Spring has sprung.
Yeah.
The weather's been kind of nice outside.
Hold on, you can say all these things after I ask you what's new.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is the weather's been kind of nice outside, and I've been looking out the window. It's like I don't want to sit and work. I want to be outside. I want to go in the ocean. I want to go walk, or I want to go for a hike or something like that. I've been having just spring fever over here. Like, I'm ready for a break. I'm just going to quit YouTube. I'm just going to quit working altogether and just wait till all the money runs out and just be homeless and just live outside.
Are your kids on spring break yet? Do they have it yet?
This week is going to be spring break for us. So all week long, I'm going to have to keep doing work while my kids run around outside and make noise all day. The thing I'm looking forward to, though, spring break, is that we're going to get to sleep in every day. That's going to be nice.
That is a nice perk.
Yeah, that's a nice perk of when you're self-employed, you're like, oh man, I get to sleep on my own schedule and stuff. And then you go and have kids.
Yeah.
Like, why did I do that? I screwed up the whole thing. I was self-employed. I didn't have a commute. I didn't have to go to work. Now I got to take these kids to school every day. Why did I do this? Why did I do this to myself? I mean, it's fun to have, offspring and watch them grow, and they fill your heart with love and everything like that. But they have to wake up in the morning and take them to school. It's awful.
Not worth it.
Nope. Cannot recommend. You're going to have to wake up in the morning. Boo. What's new for you, Steve? Anything new?
Well, I'm gonna take. I'm already gonna take my cut of all of this Patreon money that's coming in. I'm going to use it all to buy lottery tickets. So this might be the last 60 Cycle Hum episode I do, because if I win the lottery, then I'm probably just not going to do the podcast anymore.
You know what?
Which is weird, because I've never been paid. Like, I guess I get paid to do the show to some extent, but it's not a lot. And I've done it. We, obviously both of us did it for years with no pay because we just love doing it. But, winning $977 million or whatever it is right now, that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Listen to Steve complain. No one wants to work anymore.
And that's actually,
it's like people only work for money. Like,
yeah.
What the hell,
when I quit this, though, I'm going to start the super rich. If that's, when I win the lottery with all this Patreon
it's inevitable.
Money,
Yeah.
You can't lose.
Yeah.
What's the saying? Clear eyes can't lose. It's like, that's what Ben Stein said.
Oh,
clear heart. Is it clear hearts can't lose?
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Clear eyes, full hearts can't lose. That's a quote.
From who?
It's from those Ben Stein Visine commercials. No, clear eyes, the eye drops.
And he would say something about hearts?
Yeah, I never really understood it, but anyway, the point being, that's when I'm going to launch the 60 Cycle, like the Super Rich Steve YouTube channel. It's basically like evil, the openly evil version of Mr. Beast, because Mr. Beast is evil.
Right, but he tries to hide it, he tries to posture in a way where it's like, oh, he's not evil, but then he sells these awful cookies. Have you had his cookies? Not good.
Mr. Beast is like, I'm going to exploit all these like people with disabilities because it's kindness content and people love kindness content.
Yeah.
I'm not going to exploit people with disabilities. I'm going to just exploit people who don't have disabilities. That way it's like fully evil.
Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty
Is that
evil.
more evil? I don't know. I don't know. But
You're
that's
gonna,
what I'm going to do.
You're going to track down the most able-bodied people in the world, and you're going to exploit them for clicks.
Yeah.
You're like, here's a very able-bodied person.
The point being is that if there's a podcast episode on April 8th, that means I didn't win the lottery.
Yeah. I will say that someday this show will end. Someday we will not be able to do this anymore. Mm-hmm. And on that day, whatever balance we have in our budget in the Patreon fund, I say we just drive to the closest casino together. Maybe it'll be, somewhere between the two of us. Maybe I'll come out your way to whatever's out there, and we'll just put it all on black.
Yeah.
Just see what happens,
I'm thinking, are you familiar with the Northern Boys?
No, I'm only familiar with the Eastern Boys.
The Eastern Boys. So
yeah.
Pete,
I haven't met
Pete
the Northern Boys.
Pete and Bass and the Northern Boys. It's two different groups, but they're these old guy British rappers, and they're like, filthy.
yeah, I love those. Yeah.
They're so dirty.
They're really dirty.
That's how I imagine the podcast going. Is we're gonna be like 70-year-old dudes who are like 80-year-old dudes that like shit themselves, like are just incontinent.
Hey, I don't have to be 80 to do that. And, I'm on metformin.
but we're gonna be doing the show, but it's gonna just be like it's gonna
all my
be
diabetes bros out there were like, amen.
Yeah, it's gonna be extra unhinged because every once in a while it's gonna be a podcast episode that's just like 30 minutes of silence in the middle. It's gonna be 10 minutes of the beginning, like 30 minutes of like blackout, like where are we, and then like 10 or 15 minutes at the end, and when you edit it, you're just gonna be like, oh, whatever. Well, we'll have some kid edit it at that point.
Listen, hopefully. Everyone keep supporting the show for at least another 30, 40 years, because I promise that I'll keep doing this way past when I should be doing it, and I promise every year to get a little bit more and more unhinged. Like I'll have less and less to lose. Like assuming that, the YouTube ad revenue just keeps paying off indefinitely, and I can just keep building the channel. At some point, it's like, I'm not going to need anyone's money. I'm going to be retired. I'm going to be looking forward to the grave. I'm like, there it is. I'm going to crawl into the dirt any day now. I got nothing to lose. I'm going to spill all the industry secrets. I'm going to say and do whatever I want,
There is a radio personality. I looked this up. The claimed title of oldest American podcaster is 88 years old.
He's been podcasting.
He started podcasting
20 years, the same as everyone else, because he can only podcast from a certain date.
He actually started podcasting at the age of 88.
Right.
He was a radio personality prior to that, apparently. Yeah.
And how old is he? How old is he right now?
88.
So he just started podcasting.
I did look up.
All right, that's cheating.
I did look up. There is a woman, assuming that because the article is from 2020, so it's hard to. Oh, never mind. She died. She was the world's oldest podcaster.
That's the danger of being the world's oldest podcaster, is that it puts a target on your back, and the other old podcasters come after you and assassinate you, and that's why you die.
I mean, she was 101 years old.
Yeah, total assassination there. That's someone had to take her out and be like, I'll be the oldest podcaster if I could just get rid of her.
Oh my gosh. Well, one thing we do know, Ryan, is as long as we're podcasting, and as long as they stay in business, we will be running ad spots for Chase Bliss.
That's true, Steve.
And I alluded to it earlier. You're leaving your wife for String Joy Strings, which is weird because
it's a bad decision that I made.
I will say still have the same set of String Joys on my Les Paul. They still feel great.
Those orbiters do last a long time, and if I did commit, because I got a box of like a dozen. So if I commit to using one set and I play them real gentle, I might be able to get 2 or 3 years off of them. So I could have 30, 40 years of strings sitting there.
Yeah.
That could be a long-term commitment,
But I'm thinking I'm going to marry the Lossy.
Oh, I'm so happy for you two.
The one thing with oh God, I can't make that joke. I'm going to make the joke. The one thing.
Am I going to have to cut something out, Steve?
The one thing about marrying a Chase Bliss pedal is it's a lot like getting married to in a normal situation where, your spouse is just always making a bunch of noise, and sometimes you like it and sometimes you don't.
Come on.
Oh,
Steve. It's
easy. No. It's low hanging fruit.
We're middle aged, but we don't have to be making boomer jokes over here. Like, oh, wife bad.
This is how we get to 1 million subs.
You haven't even married her yet. You're already complaining, Steve.
But the Chase Bliss supports the show. Thank you so much, Chase Bliss. They just came out with the Mood Mark II in the new finish.
I'll tell you why they do it is because Chase Bliss believes in us. Joel Corte believes in us. He loves us and loves what we do. And if you love what we do too, return the favor and go support Chase Bliss. Add a Habit or a Lossy, a Therme to your birthday wish list, your Christmas wish list.
Did you know the Mood has new firmware?
How firm are we talking?
It's 0.1 more firm.
Dang. I might have to get that.
The Mood Mark II came out with version 1.1. So you can connect it, I guess, to your computer and get that updated. So that's actually a real thing that people should know.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yes, Steve.
Are you ready to do this topic?
Oh, man. Have I ever been more ready than this? The answer is no. I have put in the hours, Steve. We didn't put out a topic call out this week because we came up with this on our own. We're like, that's brilliant. Yeah. It needs to be done. People need this information. Obviously, it's going to bring in a just storm of clicks and traction on the channel. This is going to be the first day of the rest of our lives. Like, we're about to blow up here with this one. We are going to count down and talk about the top 10 Rick Beato videos.
That's right.
Yep. And so in order of views, really, we'll start at the bottom. 3.7 million views from 4 years ago.
To the bottom.
We're starting from the bottom and we're working our way up, and people are going to get the anticipation is going to build. People are going to be like, what's the top Rick Beato video? And what do these guitar boys have to say about it? But at 3.7 million views from 4 years ago, what makes this song great? More Than a Feeling by Boston. What did you think of this video, Steve?
Well, I mean, I felt like he made a really good point in this video, which of course is that this song, what makes this song great is that it's not just a song, and it's not just like puts you in a mental state. It's not just an emotion. Yeah. It's not just a feeling. It's more than a feeling.
It's more, yeah. The song is true. It is more than a feeling. I liked the part in because we're not talking about the song. We're talking about the video that Rick made about the song.
Right.
I like the part in this song where like he picks up his guitar and he strums like 3 of the chords that he's hearing.
Right.
And 2 of them were dead on, and the third one was close enough. Like close enough. I was impressed. And then he looks at the camera and he's like, oh. Like he has this reaction, like he's surprised by the chords that are in there. And he's like, oh, did you catch that? Did you see?
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
C sharp minor. You weren't expecting that to show up here, were you? It's pretty incredible stuff. And then
this is one of the rare videos where he uses a capo.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when he's a madman. He's a madman. You can't predict Rick. Like he picked up when he started out with a 12-string bass, he had one of those Hamer 12-string basses. And he's like, what is he gonna do with this song? What is he about to teach us? And then he put the capo on the 11th fret, and he played it in E flat standard as a guitar, as a 12-string E flat standard tuned guitar. It's like there's a reason why Rick is the king,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do.
And this is only number 10.
Yeah, I did disagree with a few points that he made. There were like midway through the video, he just stopped and he looked at the camera and he said, "I could do better than this. I could make a better song than this." And I do disagree with that. I don't think he could. I think he's very talented, but I don't think he should have said that. And we're all still waiting for him to do that 4 years later, and he hasn't delivered. So
one of the things that he pointed out in this video that I thought was really interesting is the band is called Boston.
Yeah.
But apparently they actually formed in the city of Boston.
Well,
so that's where they got their name.
Well, no, that's what you have to do if you name your band after a city, like Chicago.
Oh, right.
From Chicago, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's band law. Like, and there's not technically a San Diego band named San Diego because it's too intimidating. Like
it's a long name.
If you name your band after a city, it's because you got some hot shit. Like you are planting your flag. If your city doesn't have a band named after it that came from there, it's showing you that you don't have a good good pool of talent in your town. Like I hate to admit it, but we just don't have the talent for a band named San Diego in San Diego. It's just not going to happen.
It's kind of cheating, and this is off topic. It was kind of cheating. The city of Phoenix actually loaned its name to Paris, so the band Phoenix,
right, TX,
could form.
Yeah, Phoenix, Texas. Phoenix, Texas.
Oh, that's a different Phoenix.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different Phoenix.
You're thinking of a different Phoenix.
Ah, yeah. There's multiple Phoenixes. I forgot about that. Yeah. But none of them are from the actual Phoenix. You're right. It's all like licensing deals and stuff like that. So number 2 on the list.
Texas?
Don't question it, Steve. Just yes and.
Yes and. That's true. That's a good point. Number 2. This song from the 1500s blows me away.
I can't believe that when Rick recorded this 2 years ago, that not only was it his first time being exposed to this song, but 3.8 million people got exposed to Greensleeves for the first time. Like, incredible. Like,
I thought everyone knew that song.
You think a song is dead. You think it's in the Mel Bay grave, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's 2024. Why would I learn Greensleeves? And then he brings it back, and now it's top of the charts. Thanks, Rick. Greensleeves. It's the year of Greensleeves, thanks to Rick. Well, it was 2 years ago, but it still feels like it's still in the zeitgeist, you know? Like we're hearing like Deadmau5, like, Trans Hot covers of it and stuff. And, like U2 did a cover of Greensleeves. It's beautiful. Like he made some really good points in that video.
Yeah. How do you write an entire song? This is a thing I've always been lost on, is how do you write an entire song about how your sleeves are green? Like, I don't get it.
Steve doesn't get green. You don't get it. You don't get green sleeves. It's not for you, Steve. It's for the new generation. You're not part of the green sleeves generation.
Yeah.
Either am I, but I get it. It's because
Well,
I hang out with young people, Steve. You got to hang out with young people if you want to get it. What were you gonna say?
That's true. I was gonna say you've got green sleeves right now, but
I do. I
might be a little colorblind, so.
Yeah, well, there's green on my sleeves.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's in there. You can see it. Like in between the blue and the yellow, when it mixes together, there's green in there.
I just want, going back to the 1500s is like whatever, right? Like, I want to know when he's going to go back, like this song from the 900s. Well,
you can't go back before the 1400s because they didn't have recorded music before that.
Because it was the Dark Ages, and they
didn't have electricity yet. Yeah,
right. Someone had to turn the lights on, so it would be less dark.
So until the 1400s, like you couldn't hear music because it couldn't be recorded because they hadn't invented electricity yet to record it yet. And then they invented cassette tapes, and they're like, hey, let's make this bigger. And then they made 8 tracks, and they're like, we need to go bigger. And then they made vinyls. And that's it. That's the history of recorded music.
Do you remember when they tried to put music on Laserdisc? It didn't work.
Yeah, well, it worked, but like no one wanted that.
Right.
Like
it's too big.
Laser discs are meant to hold, like half of a movie,
right?
Or little shorts of computer animation. Like, duh.
Mm.
That's the way God intended it.
Then you have to flip it over.
Yeah.
The next video on this list, the top 20 drum fills of all time. Ryan,
my cup runneth over, for it hath been filled with drum.
The top 20 drum fills, of course, the first song on this list
4 million views on this from 4 years ago, Steve.
Yeah, the first song on this list, which I was really impressed by, is that little ta-ta-ta-ta from the beginning of Two Princes. I thought you would really like that part.
Yeah, it's great.
The little drum fill at the beginning.
Yeah, it's like you can't have that song without that drum fill at the beginning there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just sounds all wrong.
Yeah,
if you don't have that drum fill there.
Spoiler alert on this video, little drummer boy still holding position at the top.
Yep.
Is classic for a reason,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
Also, I was a big fan of the inclusion of like 2 or 3 different Blink-182 songs.
Travis Barker, you got to,
Yeah, as well as, he does flex his like drummer muscle here because, everyone thinks that the drums from Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit, is an amazing drum thing, right?
Right.
But which it is, but of course it's amazing because
it's amazing because it's funk.
Because Dave Grohl stole that from Ringo Starr.
His funk drums.
Yeah, which were invented by Ringo Starr.
Yeah, Ringo invented funk drums.
Yeah.
He invented funk drumming, which was very confusing to everyone because they're like, what is this for? It's for, and Ringo's like, it's for funk. I invented drums for funk. People are like, what is funk? It's 1964. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then, a decade later, we're like, oh, funk drums. Now we get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I have a lot to say about this one because I don't know a lot about drums.
Well, I'm actually a drummer now, Steve. So
no, that's true.
I actually got a lot out of this one. And it wasn't my first time watching it. When I was thinking about learning to play the drums, this is the first video I watched. And I do have to say that it was a major influence on me. And I still come back to it about once a month just to check my chops,
Good.
Yeah.
Make sure that you still got what you need.
I want to say, like, I'm actually pretty dang impressed with the production over there at Rick Beato Studios. Like, you putting these videos getting 4 million, 3.8 million, 5 million, 6.2 million views and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, like the time that gets put into them, I can tell just by watching them, like, they earned it. Like, it's a lot of work to sit there and nail the tone of a guitar or a bass or a drum kit to reproduce the sound like in studio and like nail down the sound of like classic recordings. And I'm actually like legitimately impressed. Watching these various like 20 greatest, bass intros, drum fills, guitar, whatever, like he did the work in his studio and he did them really good quality. And I'm actually pretty dang impressed. So
the lighting is always really good too. Like the layout.
No, his lighting sucks.
You don't like his lighting?
No, it's fine. But I will say that if you go back to these videos from 4 years ago, Rick, where was your microphone? It sounds like it was like 10 feet away from you.
It probably was.
Drop a shotgun down onto your forehead. You've got the space right out of camera. You don't have to have the microphone so far away from you. I was actually really surprised how low quality his microphone quality was in these videos from 4 years ago.
Now that it exists, he could just get some Shure Move mics.
Exactly. Link in the description.
Just clip that sucker onto his
Yeah.
onto his shirt there.
Now, like he's in a studio. All he needed to do was the same thing that I do in here is put an SM57 about a foot off of his forehead, right out of the shot of the camera, and everyone would be able to hear him great. But it's like, where was this mic? Why is there so much room reverb? Why is this room so untreated that you can hear all that reverb? It was weird. Maybe he was putting reverb on there intentionally, like as a creative decision. So next up after the drum fills, top 20 greatest bass intros of all time.
Yeah, top 20 rock bass intros.
What percentage of this video did you agree with, Steve? Because you're a bass boy, so you probably have strong feelings here.
I agreed with about 90% of it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the bass, including the bass at the beginning of the Green Day, the one Green Day one that was on there, I thought that was kind of weird. Green Day has better bass intros than that one. I thought
Green Day is a band where, like, I honestly think that the top instrument in that band, the most iconic instrument in that band, is the bass. And I know this is April Fool's, and people probably think this is a gag or a joke. I full on mean it. When I listen to Green Day, I'm listening to the bass, and a lot of like the iconic moments, a lot of the hooks, a lot of like, here's a Green Day song happens on the bass. Like the guitar is fine, the drums are fine, but the bass is really where the personality of Green Day lives. So, I mean, if I made this list, there'd probably be like 6 Green Day songs on it. But I didn't make this list. Rick Beato made the list, so it's correct.
There are some
90% correct, according to Steve.
What's up?
90% correct.
Yeah. There are some good ones on here, of course. Under Pressure. You can't have a bass list without Under Pressure.
Yeah.
You can't have a bass list, I think, without Cannonball.
Of course.
The Breeders.
Yeah.
You can't have a bass list without Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Ice Baby, of course.
Dun 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 bum bum.
Yeah, who taught us all that we need to spend more time stopping so we can collaborate and listen to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm voting for him for president in 2024.
Which was like, everyone felt like he was riffing on MC Hammer like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he brought so much more to the message. Like MC Hammer was like, stop, it's Hammer time. Yeah, that's a great message, but stop, collaborate, and listen. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like that's the political song of the ages. So
another one that, of course, made the list was Joy Division's Level Tear Us Apart. And you got to have Peter Hook. You could make a top 20 bass lines list with just Peter Hook. It'd just be a bunch of Joy Division and New Order songs.
Is it too much of a stretch to like kind of wish that Robert Smith playing bass 6 would have made it onto the list? Like I know it's not a bass. I know it's more of a guitar, but it's kind of more of a bass. Like I just wish bass 6 could have snuck into the top 20.
Yeah. So I think this was a really good video overall, though.
Yeah, but that my big pet peeve is that he dropped this video, 6.2 million views. Everyone's been begging him for 4 years. When are we going to get the top 20 greatest bass outros? We've got the intros. Where's the outros?
I don't know if there are 20 great bass outros. There might not be. That's the problem.
They're pretty rare. They're pretty rare.
There might only be like 17.
Well, here's the problem. Most bass outros are just ba-dum bum ba-dum bum boom. And then everyone laughs.
Okay, the obvious one that's not on this list, because it's both the intro, the entire song, body of the song, and the outro is the Seinfeld theme.
Well, yeah.
I can't believe you left that off.
That's a theme song, though, and it was played on keyboard, Steve. Everyone knows that bit of trivia.
That's just what Big Pharma wants you to think, Ryan.
So next up, with 6.5 million views. Could you imagine that if we ever had a video blow up that big on our channel? The most complex pop song of all Time. Is this the most complex song ever? In this video, I answer that question. Ultimate bundle sale, only $99 for all of my, and then ...
Hold on, Ryan.
Master of suspense. He always leaves us hanging.
I gotta, you know, again, this is a real thing.
Sure.
It kind of hurts my brain to think about. When you go on YouTube and search for 60 cycle hum, do you know what the most popular video is?
No.
It's Daryl Braun's "Kill the Hum and Buzz, Keeping Your Single Coils Quiet." It's a video about killing 60 cycle, about ways to eliminate the horrible 60 cycle hum.
But that's just your Google results. I want to know what everyone else's Google results are.
That's 600. Yeah. Tell us below if you go on YouTube and search for 60 cycle hum and then filter sort to view count. Tell us what the number one 60 cycle hum video is.
Yeah, we want to know.
On there. Because oddly enough, your number one video isn't what shows up as number two. Your number 3 video is what shows up as number 2.
Ah, what is it?
I think that's interesting. What shows up as number 2 is Josh Scott reviews the Affordaboard.
Okay, all right.
3 years ago. But anyway, back to the man of
my
the hour.
My number one video is a Josh Scott video.
Well, your real number one video, I think, was the Epiphone.
Yeah, something like that.
SL.
Yeah.
The most complex pop song ever. Of course, this is what? Do you know what song this is about?
Yeah. Karma Chameleon.
Oh,
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's because the vocal melody's pretty out there.
Yeah. He just, you know what? Halfway through the video, he kind of just took a deep breath and he looked into the lens, like deep into our eyes as an audience. And you could see like kind of tears welling up in his eyes. And he's like, I'm going to be real with you. This isn't actually the most complex pop song ever. I just needed to find a reason to like try to talk about this song because it means so much to me. And it like, I actually like have these deep emotional reactions when I listen to Karma Chameleon. And I just wanted to share my joy for the song with the world. And it was a beautiful moment. And he clickbaited us. He absolutely did. That is how you get 6.5 million views with clickbait. But he really showed us his heart. And he showed us something deep about himself. And, you know, sometimes clickbait pays off. And in this case, he made an art of it. So thank you, Rick.
Karma, chameleon.
You come and go.
Never gonna let you go.
Exactly.
Something like that, right? That's how it goes.
Yeah. And then next up was 7.2 million views from 4. It seems like most of his big videos were 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like he's still chasing that lightning, I think. You know, maybe we'll see the newer ones catch up eventually, but 4 years ago, man, he was just cooking with gas.
Maybe he just hasn't done a top 20 since then.
Yeah, well,
because now he does like top 10s, and maybe they don't perform as well as top 20.
Wrong number, Rick.
This video is, of course, the top 20 electric guitar intros of all time. This went a direction that I did not expect.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be, you know, like Wonderwall, like the guitar strum at the beginning, but it's actually all like ways to.
Well, that's on the acoustics. This is electric guitar intros.
That's a good point. But what I was surprised about is this is actually all electric guitar introductions.
Right.
So I actually wrote.
Yeah,
I wrote them all down.
I'd like to introduce you to this guitar. It's like when at NAMM when they're like we're unveiling the very first Flying V. That was number 5. That was number 5.
I wrote them all down, Ryan. Do you want to go from 20 to 1 or 1 to 20?
We don't have time for that, Steve. Just tell me the bottom and tell me the top.
Okay. Well, the bottom was if you built it, they will electric guitar. So that was, and the number 1, of course, was Say Hello to My Electric Guitar.
Oh, so you're not even talking. You're not even talking about what guitars were being introduced. You're just saying the way they were introduced.
Yeah. Like May the Electric Guitar Be With You. That was a really popular one.
Yeah.
Mama Always Said Life Was Like an Electric Guitar. Here's Electric Guitar. Like that's like when your electric guitar player comes on stage, you can say that. If you're at like if your guitar player smells, you can use this one. I love the smell of electric guitar in the morning. It smells like victory.
I'm here to play electric guitar and chew gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If your electric guitar
We're doing it. We're
like,
reading the list. This is incredible.
is like really excited, like he's a very excitable person. You can, is that an electric guitar in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? What instrument am I thinking about right now?
Electric guitar?
Electric guitar! That's right. That's right.
Do you like electric guitar? How do you like these electric guitar? And then he holds up the electric guitar onto the glass pane. Yeah.
If your electric guitar wants to introduce itself, you can say, "My name is Guitar."
Yeah.
Electric guitar.
I like the one where he's like, "I'll be electric guitar."
Yeah. Of course, if your band is playing in Texas, you can always say, "Houston, we have an electric guitar."
What are we doing?
If you're ever playing in Greece,
yeah,
this is electric guitar. And of course, Ryan, if you're ever playing at Wolf
I hate
359,
that you're getting me with this.
If you're ever playing at Wolf 359, Resistance is electric guitar.
Yes. Well, good. Electric guitars do have resistance. Next up,
I won't go through them all. That was just a few of the ones.
It's the top.
There's more.
The cream of the crop.
If you're ever in Chicago, we're on a mission from electric guitar. If you're ever doing the national anthem at a
Steve
baseball
has found
game,
his thing.
Just remember, there's no crying in electric guitar.
Right. At 9.7 million views from 6 months ago, Steve. 6 months ago, we got a new one, a fresh one here.
This is a short.
It's
it
a
barely
short,
counts.
But still 9.7 as a short.
Yeah,
he's reacting to Fukumin by Gunna, #Gunna, #Fukumin, #shorts. Did you watch him react to this?
I actually think I watched the episode that this is pulled from. So
he had he was eating this sandwich. I think it was like a BLT or like a club or something like that.
Yeah.
There's plenty of like lettuce and veggies and tomato and stuff in there. So he's eating the sandwich, and then he starts listening to this song, and he just spits it all out. Like he's shocked. And it's just, and it because it blew him away. He loved it. And like he couldn't hold it in any longer. And then he starts to he's trying to clear all the crumbs out of his mouth, and he takes a big swig of a this bright blue Slurpee. Like it was probably a blueberry burst or whatever, whatever blue flavor they have at 7-Eleven. He's taking a swig of this thing, and then he gets to the bridge and he spits that out, and it gets
really
everywhere.
Gross.
Yeah, it's
really gross.
It's really gross. It's really over the top. Really interesting creative direction from our friend Rick over here.
And of course, this song Fukumin it's this really intense ballad about the Fukushima nuclear disaster. It's Fukumin, Fuku is mean, it was mean to the world.
Yeah.
So I didn't know Rick would react that viscerally to something that happened that long ago, but sometimes when these
this is a short. This is a
happen,
clip from an older video.
True.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's 6 months ago, but that's true.
Yeah.
It's probably from 4 years ago.
So right after that, we've got top 20 drum intros of all time. Always the intros, never the outros. Why is he holding back? Why won't he tell us about the top 20 outros of anything? And once again, he nailed it. I as a drummer, I'm a drummer now, and I'm very good at drums, and I have big drum opinions. I didn't agree with all of it, but I saw where he was coming from.
Right. I was surprised to see Bermuda Shorts on the list. I think he's often overlooked.
I wasn't. You're not a drummer, so you don't get it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I feel like he gets forgotten a lot.
Yeah. A lot of Daft Punk on there, which was interesting to me because it's all samples.
Yeah.
But, you know, a good ear is a good ear. If you can find good drum beats and kind of, you know, mash them together and cut them up to be something new, like he just was really appreciating what they did with those samples.
That feels like cheating, though. Like, they're not playing the drums. They're just like,
don't call it
it's
cheating.
all computers.
He got 9.7 million views with a short. That's the same thing as being a DJ. You're just cutting something up and using it, repurposing it.
I mean, I guess that's true. That's a good point.
The talent is in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
You hear something and your mind deciphers it and says, you know what? I found something new.
Yeah.
In this fragment of something larger, and I can turn that fragment, like it's beautiful blooming fractal, into a new piece of art. And he recognized that.
Right. YouTube Shorts. It's just DJing.
It's just DJing. It's just video DJing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's so much we could say about 20 greatest drum intros of all time, but you just have to experience it. Like, put on a set of cans. Like, don't listen over your phone. Put on some nice headphones. If you don't have nice headphones, I'll put an affiliate link down below. Get yourself some nice $300 headphones and just chill out for an evening and just watch this video a couple times, you know?
The next video, this is the number 2, the penultimate entry on this list.
12 million views. Not only on this, it's neck and neck with top 20 drum intros, but 12 million views on top 20 rock guitar solos of all time. And this is another one where, like, they nailed it down. I'm legitimately impressed. Like, they nailed the tones. They nailed the gear.
Yeah.
They played along to tracks and just nailed down the solos, the top 20 greatest. Yeah, and then
did them all.
You know, everyone could come up with a solo they would like to have featured here. You know, it can't be the top 200 greatest. He had to, you know, there's some personal taste going into this. And so you have to appreciate his personal taste. He comes from a certain era. It's not the same era as young whippersnappers like us, obviously. But he picked some solid choices here. And it's hard to disagree with them. Like, what's your favorite?
I was pleasantly surprised to hear All Apologies in the top 5. Nirvana, All Apologies, top 5.
Well, the dissonance, the dissonance in that solo, like, and the way that Kurt just knows how to ride those minor thirds, and the dominant ninth, like, are you kidding me? Like, it's brilliant.
It's incredible. And then, of course, like, you have to put the man who sold the world on here, David Bowie, but I prefer the Nirvana version of that.
Well, we all learned about it from Nirvana. So it's like, like you're always going to favor the one that you heard first. Like, people hadn't really heard the David Bowie one, and then Nirvana comes along and shines a light, and we all get to know about the song, so.
And of course, number 1 is kind of obvious. I think everyone agrees. Dragon Force's Through the Fire and the Flames, or whatever, like, that's Through the Fire and the Flames, that's obviously everyone's number 1.
It's just so
it's like, why even make the list?
It's just so singable. It's got that melody that gets stuck in your head and you can hum along to it. You're in the shower and you just start and you're like, what is that? Oh yeah, Dragon Force. Yeah, that song. We all get it stuck in our heads from time to time, and the only way you can get it out is to listen to it a couple times. Yeah.
The number 1 video on this list, 19 million views. Big
Holy
jump.
hell. Holy
Big
hell.
jump.
Can you imagine?
Also from 4 years ago.
Steve, do you know, like, we get about 600,000 views per month across our entire channel.
Yes.
That's just barely over 500,000 views. And he got 19 million on one video. That's incredible. Is legitimately incredible for music and guitar channel.
That one video is more than half of the total number of views on our channel. 37 million views on our channel. Imagine? Which is also wild. Like, that's a big number, but Rick got that in one video. And of course, it's because it's the video, the top 20 acoustic guitar intros of all time. Let's just go straight to number 1. It's obvious. It's Green Day, Good Riddance, the number 1 acoustic guitar intro of all time. The way Billy Joe Armstrong screws it up, but then leaves it on the record, it was genius.
I mean, there's a lot of
Absolute genius.
Rick really loves Green Day. Like he talks
Yeah.
about Green Day a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, yeah. There were some, there's some Peter, Paul, and Mary in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of Phil Keaggy, surprisingly, his acoustic work.
Well, I think you have
made
to
an
have
appearance.
Phil Keaggy on a list like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tiny Tim. He included some ukulele in there.
Yeah.
But great string and fretwork is great string and fretwork. Like
I was
It's
surprised.
a tiny guitar. Might as well include it.
Yeah, I feel like that one was a little controversial. Because I
Not
feel
for me.
like
Not for me.
well, no, listen, I feel like if you're going to include Tiny Tim, you include Tiny Tim. But then to put him at number 15 is a little insulting. Like if Tiny Tim's on the list, he's top 5. He's got to be top 5.
Right. If you're gonna include him, then don't be shy about it.
Exactly.
Put him where he belongs.
Exactly. Like it feels like a little patronizing to include Tiny Tim. Like if you don't include him at all, then you just say, well, it's ukulele. And this is acoustic guitar. But if you're going to include him, it's a little patronizing then to include him and not have him in the top 5.
I thought it was pretty bold when Rick was playing along, and instead of playing a stringed instrument, instead of picking up a ukulele, he just selected the ukulele setting on his Casio keyboard, and he was just chording it out that way. Like it worked. It worked. He was able to show the theory of the song. So. Good for him. I bought his book right after that, the PDF that he sells. I was like, this is
the
incredible.
book.
Yeah, the Beato book, the PDF book.
Yeah.
I don't have the hard copy. He's the only one with the hard copy. So he just keeps scanning those pages and putting out as a PDF.
If you print it out, then you'll have a hard copy.
Yeah, but he keeps just adding pages to it. Like I just have to I don't have enough ink in my printer. Here's the thing. I'm low on yellow.
Why is there yellow?
Because it's an inkjet, and like when you run out of yellow, it won't let you print black either. So it's just like it sucks.
Oh,
get a laser. Get a laser
printer.
Yeah, I need a laser printer. Yeah, that's how they get you with the yellow ink when you're printing black. I hate it.
Yeah. Well, I think this list proves why Rick Beato is considered the greatest music YouTuber.
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
It's pretty clear why he's the top dog. He gets millions and millions of views.
Yeah.
It's because he does the work, That's really what it takes. If anyone out there wants to learn how to have a successful YouTube presence, you just do the work. Yeah. And he does the work.
You make content that people like, and you speak to it authoritatively.
Confidence. Having some flair, having some riz. You got to have that Rick Beato riz.
Yeah. Dude,
as the kids say.
Can you imagine? I don't think Rick Beato would have been successful without the sideburns.
It's definitely a big part of his personality. Surprisingly, none of them made the top 10 list. What do you think about his takes on like top 10 songs on the charts videos? Like
I think they're like pretty
accurate.
accurate. I think he does a good job with those.
I
really has a really good sense of what's going on in the zeitgeist.
I know. I like it when he likes a song, but what I really like, because you watch NASCAR for the car crashes. I really like it when he starts a song and then he looks at the camera and he's like, "This isn't a song. No part of this is a song." And I don't know how people listen to this. And then it goes to the next song and you can tell like, wow, that really pissed him off. Like,
right.
Where he's like, when he's like, this song only has 3 chords. You're like, holy shit. He caught him. Busted.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yep. Oh man, those moments are what we live for. You kidding me?
You got anything else to say about Rick?
Oh, I could write a book.
You should write a book.
There's not time for it. We've been recording an hour and 14 minutes. We should get to the next ad and then call it a show.
We're running out of
camera space. We could go for 3 hours just on Rick because there's so much to say.
This last ad was sent by Keegan Nugent. This is this guitar's name called, it says handmade electric guitar. Bought this to make a custom electric guitar, never got around to it. It's super nice with a set neck and flame maple. Body is alder, I think. And this guitar's name is Ryan.
Do you see anything funny about this guitar, Steve? Anything catch your eye?
Everything about this guitar is funny.
Well, don't make this an April Fool's thing. I told you this is a serious episode. Like, we're not going to make jokes about this, right?
Is it that it was routed with a spoon?
No, it's like,
no.
Clearly this is AI. This is fake.
Is it?
This isn't real.
I have my, it's late. My iPad's already gone into night mode, so the pictures aren't really showing up.
It's too glossy. You can tell it's AI by the way, like, look at where the fret dots are. It put a fret dot in the wrong spot. That's total AI.
A good point.
Yeah, and also it put Ryan on the headstock. What kind of name is Ryan?
Yeah.
What kind of
now that I look at it, like, none of the lines make sense. Like, there's no parallel lines, and I thought the problem was maybe just my eyes, but
it's too symmetrical. Like, this is the most on-set guitar there's ever been, and the guitars just aren't made that way. They're always a little asymmetrical. Like this. Nice try, Skynet.
Do you think this AI image is where Gibson got the idea for the Theodore?
No, because that was Orville Gibson's original design for a guitar. Like, that's real. This is fake.
From like 1870. Or
whatever. Yeah. When he invented electric guitar, he was like, "This is what it'll look like," and he was right.
Are you sure? I'm gonna have to video chat Mark Agnesi again tomorrow.
Get him on the horn.
Confirm that.
Get him on the horn. He'll confirm. He told me that when he was right after he told me about the gold trash can. Gosh, I hope Mark watches this. Hi, Mark. He's like, why doesn't Ryan ever shut up about the gold trash can? Mark Agnesi took me backstage at the Gibson garage in Nashville.
You told this story an hour ago.
I know, but like the thing I remember the most is a stupid gold trash can he showed me. There's not all the highly top tier valuable collector's Gibson guitars he put into my hands and let me fiddle around with. I was like, oh, Mark got that gold trash can.
It's because he knows you suck at guitar, so he's like,
I do. I'm great at trash cans, though. So yeah, I think this is clearly fake. This is AI.
When you buy this for $300 off of Reverb, you're just getting a picture. You're getting
it just never comes. It's like,
you're not even going to get a picture.
They're hoping that you'll forget you ordered it, and then by the time you remember, like, it's too late to get your refund, and they're gone anyways. Like, Reverb is just sitting there just holding nothing. They're like, we don't have anything to give you because this was a fake account. This is a robot that set up an account and listed AI photos, and you bought it for some reason. You couldn't tell this was AI. It's not a real guitar. But even for $300, even if this was real, I mean, that price is too perfect. Like, every part of this is just, you know how you can't really explain why something is AI, but like you have this visceral reaction to it from, like, Lauren will show me pictures from across the room on her phone, and I'll be like, that's AI. Like, that's how I feel about this. Yeah.
It's interesting that the AI chose to put a foot to really convince you, like, there's a person's foot, like an AI shoe in it. But yeah, free shipping on a $300 guitar, like, that's obviously not real. No one does that.
None of these guitars were real. We didn't find a single real guitar this episode.
I thought the Gibson was real.
Well, it's a real photo. It's it's a collection of photographs that you buy. Joe Bonamassa owns 4 of them. But so that it's real in that way, but it's not. You're not going to get a real guitar. There's one real guitar that someone took pictures of, but that's not what you're getting here. And it is a good price. It was like $5,500 or something like that. So what are we going with here? The real Gibson, which we found out it's real but not real. The real Mosrite, which is not a real Mosrite, and then the Ryan.
I think we got to go with real Mosrite. That's what I'm going with.
I mean, it did look the closest to being real. So congratulations, TJ French.
The real Mosrite was a real guitar. It was just a fake Mosrite.
Yeah, it's the only real guitar in the whole episode. So of course it's got to win, right? So congratulations, TJ French. Steve will get you lined up with a $25 virtual gift certificate printed on heavy digital card stock.
Or a couple of Fortiboard pedals.
Or a couple of Fortiboard pedals. We're doing that
dealer's
too.
Choice.
Yeah.
People have been getting those Fortiboard pedals. One of the folks that's took some of them or requested them, I need to get them shipped out still, is using them to hook other guitars that they know up with like starter pedal boards.
Nice.
Oh, it's cool. So now I don't know what they're going to do with 4 fuzzes, but
you don't have to send them all fuzzes, Steve.
Well, it's random. I'm just grabbing them at random. It just
random mods does favor streaks like that. So yeah. So randomly,
I've grabbed 4 fuzzes,
and that was completely random when you did that.
Yeah.
And you didn't 100%. Stop and say, I am a human being who can make other decisions and pick something else.
Right. Well, you
have to keep it random.
I wrote a standard operating procedure for doing this, and it does say to like spin the wheel, but then if it comes up on the same thing over and over again, like to make ultimately I have to choose whether to accept the wheel's decision or to override the wheel's decision.
Yeah.
But I am just being lazy, and I've decided to always accept the wheel's decision. So 4 fuzzes it is.
All right, tell us about the song, Steve.
Sure. This song was sent by Alexa Danielson. The song is called Don't Feed My Dog. And the artist is the Ice Pops.
I like it already.
Yeah. So this is a song.
Now
It's got guitar and vocals and bass. It's a punk and alternative band from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Roses are red and violets are blue, but I'll tell you one thing you don't want to do. Don't feed my dog. Don't feed my dog. Don't feed my dog. You can drop me a line on my cellular phone, but if you see my dog, you better leave him alone. Don't feed my dog. Don't feed my dog. Don't feed my dog. I got a lizard in a glass box and you can try to spot him. I got a little fishy with the speckles on the bottom. And you can watch him swim around, but you can't feed my dog. You can pet my bunny rabbit, you can pet my ferret, you can play with my cat or talk to my parrot. Or you can hold my scorpion, but you can't feed my dog. Don't feed him! Box and you can try to spot him. I got a little fishy with the speckles on the bottom. And you can watch him swim around, but you can't feed my dog. You can pet my bunny rabbit, you can pet my ferret, you can play with my cat or talk to my parrot. And you can hold my scorpion, but you can't feed my dog. Roses are red, violets are blue, but I'll tell you one thing you don't want to do. Don't feed my dog. Don't feed my dog. Don't feed my dog. You can drop me a line on my cellular phone, but if you see my dog, you better leave him alone. Don't feed my dog. Don't feed my dog. Don't feed my dog.
We're not even going to be on screen. So it's like,
we're not even going to be on screen.
So now let's act like we listen to the song. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Holy hell. I wish Rick could hear that. What do you think Rick would say about that?
I think if Rick reviewed this song, like if he did a short, I think it would be in his top 10 videos.
Oh, for sure. You think it'd probably
easily.
break that 18 million mark. It'd probably get over 20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He should
because
do it.
I want to hear what he has to say about that. You know, that was something special. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay grounded.
See ya.